This is TTT. Live for local.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The leadership of the Scrap Iron Dealers Association insists that stronger enforcement is essential to curb the theft of copper and other valuable materials by dishonest individuals. They are urging the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to actively uphold and apply the laws that are already in place.
Nobody come now, after we're doing all this work, to put no blame on the association. No blame on the association, because we're working hard to fix this. And it says people just don't care, not even to enforce law.
Strong words from President of the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association, Alan Ferguson, as he sought to separate the association from the continued reported theft of copper and other materials from private homes and public infrastructure. He referenced the recent theft of over $100,000 worth of copper wire from former President of Trinidad and Tobago, Anthony Carmona's private residence, in a press conference on Wednesday. He said this issue has been brought up by the association on numerous occasions over the years to the leadership of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
We warned them about this theft. We warned them about what we see now, what taking place all over Trinidad and Tobago. So you could understand. We know that if you don't fix it or you don't enforce the law, a lot of things will take place that ain't supposed to be taking place right now as we speak.
He did not put all the blame on the TTPS, as he also referenced what he called unscrupulous scrap iron dealers who are buying materials at higher prices and without proper checks and balances. Mr. Ferguson said his association is willing to work with the police to bring the criminals to justice, while urging the public to report any wrongdoing they see, especially in relation to copper. In other news, over $16 million was expended for the establishing and operating of the 2026 Flavor Village initiative during the carnival season. This was revealed in a written question for response by the Minister of Culture and Community Development in the Upper House on Wednesday. According to documents submitted to the Parliament, $13,500,000 was spent on line item 28, other contracted services, while in line 62, $1,484,500 was spent on promotions, publicity, and printing. Small amounts were spent on short-term employment, security, and construction of facilities. The answer also covered procurement processes utilized and the criteria and methodology applied in the award of contracts. It noted that the criteria were applied in a manner consistent with the principles of transparency, value for money, and fairness, as prescribed under the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Act. Continuing with sport now, one of the staple events of the Trinidad and Tobago cycling calendar, the Easter International Cycling Grand Prix. The event was officially launched on Wednesday at the National Cycling Velodrome in Couva. From April 3rd to 5th, the tournament will see over 100 athletes from 11 countries compete at the National Cycling Velodrome and Skinner Park. Representing TNT is Phoebe Sandy, who is no stranger to the championships.
I'm super grateful to be on the national team again for Trinidad and Tobago at the Grand Prix, but this is an event to showcase the Caribbean talent that we do have and the talent of Trinidad and Tobago, so it's very exciting and a great opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Virmala Balkaran. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy day before the holiday.
I know, right? Happy Friday Eve, and it's also the day before Good Friday and the very long weekend.
Yeah, it's also World Autism Awareness Day.
It is World Autism Awareness Day, and you know, aside from raising awareness, there are other ways in which we could help as well. You know, providing information and other things. Have you had any experience in having conversations with the family of individuals with autism or individuals with autism themselves?
Yeah, actually, I am a Goodwill Ambassador for Support Autism Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago. And we'll actually have a video from Dr. Radhika Mahes, the founder of that NGO, in a short bit when we get started with the show. And worked, a bit with the organization. And I must tell you, it is a really fulfilling and rewarding job. Also, I must say to the parents, the caregivers, that's a lifelong responsibility. And there's so much patience and growth and love and warmth. And I want to say a special hello to those people who continue to care for people living with autism.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, Virmala, we will chat a little bit more later on, and I'm looking forward to everything that's to come in the show.
All right.
All right, thanks so much, Virmala. When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this break.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Since 1962, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
Long drives or house limes.
we are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 10-20 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
The Mother Church of the Anglican Diocese suffered significant damage during the earthquake of 2018. Efforts are underway to raise funds to restore this national heritage site. You are invited to make your donations with monthly deposits at any branch of the First Citizens Bank, account number 2696950, Marval Road Branch, in the name of the Incorporated Trustees of the Anglican Holy Trinity Cathedral Restoration.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kickoff at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026, powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Oh, shun mi ba oh, shun mi ba Arubita, yeah, 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 yeah,
Thursday, 2nd April 2026. The time now, it is 6:13 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Shell is in advanced talks with the Venezuelan government to develop 4 large offshore natural gas areas near Trinidad and Tobago, including the long-pursued Dragon gas field and neighboring blocks that could bring together around 20 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves. Now, this is according to an article written by Curtis Williams in Reuters. Well, under preliminary agreements signed in Caracas, Shell could make a final investment decision on the flagship project by year-end and may also pursue onshore fields, while the company plans to send Venezuelan gas to Trinidad for processing into liquefied natural gas, potentially boosting capacity at the Atlantic LNG facility, which has been constrained by limited supply. And moving on now, 2 hikers who got lost in the northern range while heading to an airplane crash site via Bamboo Cathedral were rescued after an overnight search. The air support unit used drones and thermal imaging to locate them, while ground teams reached them early on Tuesday. Both were found safe with no serious injuries. And with a long weekend coming up, please be safe when hiking, plan ahead, and please stick to marked trails. Well, as you heard this morning in the newscast, did you see that? Former President Anthony Carmona was robbed over the long weekend with approximately $180,000 worth of electrical cables stolen from his country home in Siparia. Well, he says he has been the victim of at least 5 break-ins, with thieves targeting specialized electrical equipment, and believes the perpetrators are highly organized and they use tools like grinders and timing their actions when the property was unattended. Carmona also says the thefts are not random, and he suggested those involved have knowledge of electrical systems and the value of the equipment being taken. So today on World Autism Awareness Day, I find myself reflecting on the people, the families, the everyday moments that often go unseen. Autism is deeply present in our communities, as you know, in our classrooms and, of course, in our homes. It lives in the child learning to communicate in their own beautiful way, the parent advocating tirelessly, and the support systems that hold them together when the world feels overwhelming. And for me, this cause is deeply personal, and that's why organizations like Support Autism Trinidad and Tobago, they mean so much. And I am truly honored to be a small part as a Goodwill Ambassador and witness firsthand the care they're providing, how they create safe spaces, they offer hope, and they remind families that they're not alone. And their work continues to touch lives in ways that truly matter. So today is about awareness, and it is also about understanding, acceptance, and inclusion. It's about recognizing the dignity and worth of every autistic individual and ensuring that they're supported, heard, and embraced in every space that they enter. So now I'm honored to introduce someone who has really, truly been a force in this movement, a woman whose passion and dedication continue to inspire so many. Dr. Radhika Mahes, the founder of Support Autism Trinidad and Tobago. So please take a moment now to listen to her message today as we observe this very important day together.
People often ask me how they should observe Autism Awareness Day. Yes, we can share flyers and post messages because awareness matters. But if we really want to make this day meaningful, then we have to do more than just symbols and social media posts. We can reach out to a family raising an autistic child and ask how they are coping. We can volunteer with an organization that supports autistic people. We can donate supplies, sponsor a child, offer a service, or simply make life a little easier for a parent who is carrying so much. We can choose patience over judgment and understanding over ignorance. For me, autism awareness must be about action. It must be about compassion, support, and inclusion in very real ways. Not just saying we care, but showing it in how we treat autistic people and how we support their families. So this Autism Awareness Day, let us do more than just post on social media. Let us give, help, volunteer, and stand with autistic people in ways that truly matter, because awareness without action is simply not enough.
Well, coming up on today's show, we also chat with Autism Tobago on this special day, and it's Tobago Thursday. So grab your cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
A new season equals new dreams, and many football fans are dreaming of their team actually winning this season. But the reality is that only one team can win. So many will just be dreaming and wishing and hoping that their team can deliver. Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Notice I have not mentioned Arsenal. Don't be upset, I'm not mentioning Man U either. This is Atto Bolden inviting all of you to follow the 12th man as they celebrate a new season on TTT and enjoy the ride.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Of Lent draws to a close, Christians around the world prepare to celebrate Easter, a time of renewal, hope, and deep spiritual meaning. But beyond the traditions and observances, what is the true message of the sacred period, and how can it inspire us in our everyday lives? Well, joining us this morning to reflect on the journey from Lent into Easter is Father Michael Trestrel. Good morning, Father. How are you?
Good morning. Good.
Thank you for joining us on this special day as we get set to close off the holy period of Lent. So as we come to the end of Lent, Father, what should this period mean for the average believer?
Yeah. Well, getting into these 3 days, Holy Thursday to Easter Sunday, is a shift in gears of all the penance and sacrifice, I think, of Lent, and now a time of great celebration. You know, it's celebrating what Christ did for us 2,000 plus years ago in terms of not only bringing forgiveness for our sins and breaking down the walls of division, but really as well, he came to show his solidarity with us. That in every human experience, sometimes you meet someone and they say, I understand what you're going through, and they really don't, but Christ can say, I was there. I was there when I felt like giving up. I was there when I felt abandoned, betrayed, so that he can really understand and relate to what we experience in our humanity and then lift it up, raise it up to something new. And that's what I think these days represent. Christ dying and rising and meeting us in our everyday moments of dying and rising as well.
Well, Father, just staying with what you said about being human, some people may have struggled to fully observe Lent this year.
Yeah.
Is there still value in reflecting as we approach Easter?
Yeah, as I tell people always, finish strong. So even if the race has been a faulty one, that, you really push and finish hard at the end. Sometimes when I do my little runs, it was horrible. But at the end, when you're crossing the finish line, you push hard. So at least you cross it with a good finish. And so that's what I like to tell people, that no matter what has gone by, no matter what you've fallen short with, finish strong and celebrate well, enter in well, open your heart well, and make it something meaningful over these 3 days.
Yeah, so speaking of the 3 days, can you briefly walk us through the key days from Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday, all of that? And Easter is often referred to as the cornerstone of the Christian faith. Help us understand why that is.
Yeah, well, Palm Sunday begins with the welcome of Jesus into Jerusalem. And, it's a reflection of the human drama that, we always welcome people into our lives in Trinidad. As we say, we start off hot and sweaty, and we get excited. But then that changes during the week, that we were excited that he came, but now it changes to the journey of betrayal, the journey of handing him over, Judas choosing that, maybe this is not working out the way I hoped. And so let me see if I could still get something out of it. And in that journey into Holy Thursday, he gives us the Eucharist, he gives us the priesthood, he gives us the service, as the cornerstone of Christianity, that our lives are marked by service. And he tells us that on Holy Thursday. Then overnight, he's handed over to Pilate and the other guys and condemned to death. And this is where I said that he really shows us that solidarity, that, I've been there, I've been through the door of death, and I've come out on the other side, and I'm with you in all of this. So Good Friday is the day when he pours out love upon death, love upon suffering, and then, he rests in the tomb as well for that glorious Saturday. And then Easter Sunday is where we believe that new life came through the resurrection, and that, God wants to do that in our own lives too. And that's why we celebrate Easter, that what was death is now life, and that's the message that Christ came to bring to you and to me every day.
Yeah. Father, for younger people who may be feeling disconnected from the church or from religion, how can this message of Easter resonate with them, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think for me it's that when you really read the experience of Christ, you see him in the garden struggling, you see him feeling great sorrow. He says, I feel sorrowful until the point of death. And so you see him going through these deep experiences that many of our young people struggle with. You see him with the fear, the anxiety, the despair, but yet persevering through it. On the cross he said, my God, why have you abandoned me? And that's how many of us feel sometimes in life. But then at the end of the cross, he says, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. He still makes that choice to give himself into the Father's hands, trusting that those hands are good hands. And I think that is a message that we try to share with our young people, that even in your deepest despair, even in your deepest struggle, place your life in his hands, and he will help you through, and he will give you new life.
Father, I want to talk about some of your experiences now, and your journey has been described as, I quote, walking by faith and not by sight. So how did losing your vision at such an early age impact your relationship or shape your relationship with God and ultimately lead you to priesthood?
Yeah. Well, at first, when I lost sight at age 11, it was very difficult. I would always say, why me? Why did this have to happen to me? I wish I could just die. That kind of sentiment. But I think through the experience of good support from my family, from my friends, from meeting other people who were blind at the School for Blind in Santa Cruz, it helped me to see that this was not a death sentence, but really just a new way of living. And, over the years, then I went to Diego Martin Central, we call Diego Martin Central now. And I found faith there, in one of our RI classes that we never pay attention to as children. One day I did, it was a Lent actually, and she challenged us to do something instead of give up something. And through my daily commitment of trying to meditate on Christ's life through the rosary, he found his way into my heart. And in doing so, I think that's when life found new hope. Deeper joy, because I was still a joyful person, but it found a deeper meaning and purpose. And as I started to ask God more and more, what was that purpose? Two things happened. One, I started to hear, I didn't hear voices, but I heard a sense that He wanted me to serve Him. He wanted me to give my life to Him. And the priesthood was knocking at the door. But then I also felt very alone, like Christ. You know, like when everybody abandons you because of the choices. I felt like that. And I prayed for support, and I met my two other brothers, Kyle and Shad, who we founded our community, Companions of the Transfigured Christ. And that support that they brought into my life was an additional layer of what I needed. And all of those things came together to lead me eventually down the road of priesthood as well.
Yeah, wow. You know, Father, as you've faced your season of struggle, and you've also been very open about, you know, depression. You said earlier on you felt like dying.
Yeah.
What would you say to anyone going through a similar difficult period in their life?
I would say definitely find a hand to hold. When you have a hand to hold in the dark, it makes it a little easier. And that's what we all really need, I think. Someone to hold our hand, whether it's God, whether it's another human being, whether it's someone who's been through the same thing. Because that's what helped me as well, meeting someone else who was blind but living. And so meeting people who've been through what I have been going through makes a big difference. And so I think if you're in a dark place, you know, if you're in the tomb, if you feel like a Good Friday, hold on to somebody's hand, because they're going to bring you through to your Easter Sunday. And the more hands that are holding you, the better that you will have a chance to find that new joy, find that Easter Sunday in your own life.
Really profound, Father. Thank you for that. And as the first blind priest ordained in the Archdiocese of Port-of-Spain, what impact do you hope that your ministry will have both within the church and in the wider society?
Yeah, I think, well, one, I mean, just as a priest, as a brother in my community, I just want to make a difference in people's lives, share hope, share a message of salvation, share the good news with them. But I guess as a blind person as well, just to be an advocate. You know, there are many things in our country where disability still is disadvantaged in so many different ways. And I hope to be an advocate for that kind of change, but just presence, that here, you know, a blind person is functioning as a normal priest, and to help to dispel, you know, all the myths that we have about disability, and to realize that, yes, you know, I can live as an ordinary citizen contributing to society, and that others can do that too.
Before we go, what is your message to the nation as we enter the Easter season?
Yeah, it may feel as if right now we are in a tomb. There's a lot of darkness, there's a lot of isolation, there's a lot of difficulty. But in the midst of that, the hope is that God can bring us through this, that God can fill our people with new life, and that, you know, death is not the end. And that as we trust more and more in God, as we trust more and more each other, that Trinidad can have new life, can have our Easter Sunday. So let's not give up on Trinidad, let's not give up on our people, and let's keep hope alive and spreading hope in everything that we do.
Thank you so much,
You're most
Father Michael Trastrell, leaving us with some beautiful words this morning. We take a break, and when we come back, it's Tobago Thursdays on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
long drives, or house lives.
We are always sweet.
Always 100. This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kick off at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026, powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's Terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world on Super Z, or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forest alongside our robot pals from Bugspot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. It's fun-filled adventure with Terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
Today, the world observes World Autism Awareness Day, a day where we turn our attention to increasing understanding, acceptance, and support for individuals living with autism. Across in Tobago, one organization continues to play a vital role in advocacy, education, and community support. Well, this morning we are joined by Chairman of Autism Tobago, Valine Salino-Kanan, to learn more about their work and how they're marking this very important occasion. Good morning, Valine.
Hi, good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. All
right, great to have you here. No, you'll be fine. Thank you for sharing this this really important day with us as well. I want to begin with the significance of this day. Now, we've been talking about World Autism Awareness Day, but what does this mean to Autism Tobago, your group, and the families that you serve?
Right. Well, it is important because it is crucial for us to promote acceptance. Most of all, the condition is one that has tended to go unnamed or kind of go below the radar for some time. And so this day is kind of significant and symbolic for us to have a voice, make our presence felt. And it also helps us with regards to combating stigmas and highlighting neurodiversity and championing the rights of autistic persons in the community.
Yeah. And how is Autism Tobago observing this day this year? Any special events, initiatives, activities planned?
Yes, of course. Well, today we have our launch down at Lowlands Mall at 5 p.m. What we do every year since the organization has started, which was significantly before my time in joining, we have an informational kiosk that stays up for the entire month of April down at the mall, where persons can come and interact with the display and receive information and brochures and so on. So we have that launch happening today at Lowlands Mall at 5 p.m. But also for the entire month, during week and especially on weekends, we have significant activities that we will be executing. We have a motorcade on the 11th of April. We have various online seminars. This year we are looking into traveling on the spectrum. And also, of course, one of our favorites is with Dr. Liesl Windsor, where she tackles, dealing with diagnosis. So persons who may have not received a diagnosis or kind of now starting on their journey with their loved one, they get an idea of how to grapple with that and how best to deal with that. One of our major events that we've added in the past few years is actually our Autism Awareness Fair, where we create this nice, fun, interactive space for our autistic children and autistic loved ones to come out and, just enjoy themselves and be themselves. And their families and the public are also welcome to join us. That happens on the 25th of April at Shore Park Recreation Ground. To also, as we said, receive that information, and it helps you be a part of the community and really get on board with what we are trying to do for autistic persons.
Valine, what are some of the biggest challenges faced by persons with autism in Tobago today?
Right. Well, from my observation, I think that one of our biggest challenges here is understanding from the public and even from members of our families. There's also the challenge of misconceptions. So, due to the fact that autism is often termed as the invisible disability, because there's not necessarily any visible or physical manifestation that when you look at this person, you could automatically tell, well, they're autistic. You have the challenge of persons not necessarily believing that something is wrong or that this person is experiencing a challenge, because then you get remarks like, but they don't even look autistic, when it actually doesn't have a look at all, so it's not until you see somebody having a meltdown or having a difficult time in a space that you understand that, okay, something is wrong, and is often perceived as, for a child, the child is being rude, or the child is bad behaved, or the parent isn't controlling their child, when this person or this child is actually having a genuinely challenging experience with whatever is going on with them.
Valine, what more do you think needs to be done, not just in Tobago, but in Trinidad and Tobago, for the opportunity to improve inclusion and opportunities for persons with autism?
I think education, I think also, volunteering and becoming a part of different NGOs and groups like Autism Tobago and Autistic Society of Trinidad and Tobago, because those groups aren't just for persons who have family members or loved ones that have autism. Education is key. So even for us here at Autism Tobago, we do sensitization sessions. We invite ourselves often to workplaces and companies and schools and PTAs, and we, inform persons about the condition. And even sometimes in speaking to children, it gets them a better understanding of, what this thing is. And we've also found that when you start edifying persons at an earlier age, so even in primary schools and on secondary schools and so on, that information and that advocacy and that understanding grows with them into adulthood.
Yeah. Valine, is there any social media platform that we can follow the work of Autism Tobago?
Yes, of course. We are on Facebook and we are also on Instagram. Autism Tobago, just simply Autism Tobago on Instagram, and the same on Facebook. We're here, we are here, so it's not difficult to find us at all.
All right, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing the highlights of everything taking place later today and for World Autism Awareness Day. Thank you so much, Valine, for joining us from Autism Tobago.
Not a problem.
All right, have a beautiful day.
All right, you too. Enjoy your day.
You as well. That's the chairman of Autism Tobago, Valine Salino-Kanan, joining us talking all about Autism Awareness Day. Well, the ward of Blanchisseuse is abundant with natural treasures, from the dense tropical rainforest to scores of white sand beaches, towering peaks to plunging valleys, and much, much more hidden amongst its rolling hills. Carrie Roberts guides us to one of these sequestered gems, the aptly named Sapphire Falls, for this installment of Right Here.
The ward of Blanchisseuse is home to many hidden gems, and when I say hidden, I mean hidden. Although this next destination is very close to the Blanchisseuse-Arima Road, it is completely hidden from sight, so we'd have to make a small trek only 5 minutes into the bush, and you'll see the amazing views that are waiting for you. There is very little by way of natural wonders that Blanchisseuse does not offer. Breathtaking beaches? Check. Captivating waterfalls and waterways? Check. Verdant, dense forests? In abundance. The list can go on, but that would be rather exhaustive. Before taking on the challenge, there are a few things to consider. Safety first. It must be noted that most of the route to this destination involves traversing waterways. As such, close attention must be paid to weather advisories to ensure it is safe to go. Long story short, if it rains at all, it's best to change plans. The journey to uncover this treasure is short, but what it lacks in distance is made up for in value that a price cannot be put on. At the 19-mile marker on the Blanchisseuse-Arima Road, there's a clearing next to a thicket of bamboo that is marked with caution tape and a red ribbon. This is the stop-off point. Be sure to conceal any valuables in your vehicle, as there's no designated or secure parking in the area. Ditching the vehicle, the path on foot starts with a gentle descent to the river's edge. Just to the right, passers-by are greeted by a murti of a Hindu deity. Onward we go, and the first task is a river crossing. It can be well above waist height in some areas, so make sure that anything in your pockets that can't swim are held above the water's level. I may or may not be speaking from personal experience here. Waterlogged electronics aside, this baptism proves to be a refreshing start to the journey and, in a way, tempering the body for the impending destination. Across the river, at the bank, a tributary joins with the dominant waterway. This is the desired path. Within just a few steps, what was once an open clearing transforms into a narrow hallway bordered by exotic foliage. The scene here is painting-worthy, yet even the best artists would fall short to truly capture the magnitude of beauty here. Imagine, this is just the route to the sequestered waterfall. A short way past this, and you are met with an obstacle. A recently fallen tree stops you in your tracks. While somewhat intimidating, it is not impassable, but keep a sharp eye out in case there's anything unfriendly hidden among the branches. Task number 2 conquered, and it's smooth sailing from here on out. Continuing upstream, careful steps must be taken as there are numerous rocks to traverse over, some very slippery with moss. Still, every step forward builds the anticipation as you get ever closer to the crown jewel of the journey. A rock wall on the right acts as a blinder, concealing what is around the corner. One is ill prepared for the big reveal, considering the gentle stream that proceeds from this magnificent waterfall. And with that, we're here. Sapphire Falls in all its splendor. So named because when the light hits the pool just right, the water appears to be a deep blue, reminiscent of the precious stone. With its short but picturesque trail, the ease of access, the brisk but refreshing waters of its deep basin, and of course, its striking beauty, Sapphire Falls makes for a superlative trip for the seasoned and novice hiker alike. I may even be so bold to say that this one may even make converts of those who are averse to the outdoors. I'm Carrie Roberts, giving you a glimpse into the paradise we have right here.
Brought to you by Caribbean Glass Specialists Limited, with over 65 years in business, delivering superior quality aluminium windows, doors and shower enclosures, along with complete glass and aluminium solutions for residential and commercial spaces, with supply and installation across Trinidad and Tobago and exports throughout the region. Craftsmanship you can trust.
Thank you so much, Carrie Roberts, and that was today's installation of Right Here. Well, we continue with Tobago Thursday, and for generations, the words of the Bible has been shared across languages and cultures. But now that message is resonating even more deeply across in Tobago. In a groundbreaking effort, the Bible is being translated into the Tobago dialect, allowing people to hear and experience scripture in the language of everyday life. Interesting, right? Well, the initiative led by Wycliffe Caribbean Bible translators is not just about translation. It's actually about the connection, the understanding, and of course, the cultural pride. This is such a unique and exciting project. And to tell us how did the idea translate the Bible into Tobago and the dialect come about, we have Miss Alison Potts joining us on Zoom this morning. Good morning, Alison. Good morning, Alison. Hello?
Good morning.
How are you, Alison? All right. Can you hear me clearly, Alison?
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you hearing me clearly? Okay. I still don't think that Alison is hearing us clearly, so we're probably going to have to come back to that. Let's take in a video now of the translator while we get that sorted out.
Luke chapter 5, verses 3 to 8, Tobago dialect version. Jesus got in Simon's boat and asked him for push it out a little from the shore. Jesus sit down in the boat and start to teach the crowd. When he done talk, he tells Simon, push out the boat in the deep part of the water and throw out all your net to catch some fish. Master, Simon answer, we walk whole night and ain't catch nothing. But as he says so, me go let out the net again. As they do that, if you see fish till the net start for bust. So they call their partner them from the other boat to come and help them. So they row over and full up the two boat them till they start to sink. When Simon Peter see what happened, he fall down by Jesus' knees and say, "Oh Lord, go away from me. Me I was sinful man."
That's the Bible in Tobago dialect. You know, one of the most beautiful things about this is that we make it more accessible and, you know, just easier for people to absorb and understand, especially the younger people. And there's just so much goodness coming out of Tobago. And we're very, very happy to join Tobago today on Tobago Thursday. Well, we have Alison on the line. Alison Potts is joining us to tell us all about this initiative. Let's see if she can hear us this time. Good morning, Alison.
Good morning. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Good, good. So, Alison, this is such a unique and exciting project. Tell us, how did the idea to translate the Bible into Tobago dialect come about?
Well, we are part of Wycliffe Global Alliance, and we have a subsidiary of Wycliffe Bible Translators Caribbean. Wycliffe Global Alliance is part of an organization, a group of Christian organizations. The objective is to translate the Bible into every language there is on earth. So we are on earth. So there is an ongoing project right now in the Caribbean, Trinidad, Tobago, St. Vincent, and Barbados. We are involved in the same project at this time to bring the Word of God into the heart language of the people.
And Alison, so far, I believe 6 books have been translated. Now, how did you choose which books to translate?
Well, we started with the book of Luke because the book of Luke is more or less comprehensive. Have many of the stories about Jesus, the gospel, plus in the book of Luke, we started in September. So we said by December, we wanted to have the Christmas story covered so that we could use it on the radio in churches and various places. And we did have that done, the Christmas story in the dialect, in our dialect.
Okay, Alison, also, this project was started 2 years ago, right? If I'm correct. How long do you estimate before we get a completed version of this?
We are looking at 5 years. Initially, we have a 3-year project going, but we know we will not complete it in that time. So we are looking at 5 years, 2029. We started in 2024.
And if you don't mind me asking you, give us a little insight into the process. How do you actually translate something as complex and sacred as the Bible into dialect?
Let me say first, prayerfully and with great humility, because we recognize this is the Word of God that we are dealing with here. We do have a template as such. So we read, we are using the audiovisual translation tool, which directs us how to go about this process. So first we read the passage that we have to translate in about 4 different versions of the standard versions we have now. Then we go into a process of familiarizing ourselves with it, internalizing it. So we have to take us into the background of the particular passage, what was going on at the time. And we have direction of particular words, etc., that's not familiar to us. So we go deep, because first we have to understand it, let it become a part of not only our heads, but our hearts before we can proceed to put it into our heart language.
And Alison, how's the feedback from Tobagonians? How are they liking all of this and appreciating this?
Wonderful. We have been to churches, we've been on the ground. We have been on the ground in communities as well as Charlottesville, sharing the word, sharing what we are doing, getting feedback from the people. Apart from a few naysayers who say, why you want to tamper with the word of God? We have people say, this is so wonderful. When are you going to finish? I want a copy of that. When we were in Charlottesville a few weeks ago, somebody said we shared a passage with them. And they said, that is what I mean. I never knew that until I heard you say it in the dialect. So we have very positive feedback from church leaders as well. We go into the community, we call in church leaders, and we share what we are doing with them to make sure that we are on the right track. They are understanding. We are truly translating the Word of God, genuinely translating the Word of God and staying true to what is said in the Bible.
Well, Alison, I actually, before the break, before we came on, I said, young people, this must really be reaching the young people a lot more and making religion not just understandable, but accessible and appealing, for the younger ones. So this is honestly a really amazing project. So for those of us who want to access all of this, how can we do that?
Well, right now, we are going through the process of carrying the passages to, as I said, the community checks, church checks. We have to take it to a Bible consultant. She sends back, and we make adjustments. And when the passages are okayed by the consultant. Then we change to etc. We have been on the radio.
Yeah. Alison, are you there?
Yes, so we plan to put it on YouTube, on YouVersion, Spotify, places where people can access it, young people, older people. So you can look out for our passages, the translation on these platforms.
All right. Thank you so much, Alison, for joining us this morning. The Bible translated into Tobago dialect. Well, just a couple seconds before Carrie comes up with the major network news at 7 a.m. When we come back inside the next hour, we continue talking all about Tobago. Also, we have a link up for you today with our remaining sister station. You do not want to miss that.
Good morning. This is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. On Wednesday, the Senate debated the Probation bill outlining measures aimed at the meaningful rehabilitation of offenders. Among the proposals was the introduction of split sentencing designed to help ease overcrowding in the nation's prisons. Minister of Justice Devish Maharaj presented the case for amending the Probation of Offenders Act, emphasizing that the bill seeks to strengthen rehabilitation opportunities while ensuring accountability throughout the process. One of the key proposals under consideration is the introduction of split sentencing.
It ensures that offenders are held accountable through imprisonment, but are given a structured support to reintegrate into society. If, however, Mr. President, he fails or he commits another offense, that is the probationer, he will do the full sentence or he will come back to serve the remainder of his sentence.
The probation term would also be amended from 3 to 5 years to allow adequate assessment of rehabilitation. For reformed individuals, Minister Maharaj noted that they stand the chance of having their records sealed.
In your period of probation, the probationer can apply to the court to have your record sealed. This is a forward-looking measure, Mr. President. It supports reintegration back into society, giving rehabilitated individuals a second chance to build their lives free from the stigma of past mistakes. In other words, you seal, it doesn't show up on your court record. Get back out into the workplace. You can get your certificate of character from the police, which is a requirement these days, it seems, in most places. And you get back on your feet and you move on.
The amended Probation of Offenders Act may strictly enforce measures including participating in community service, wearing an electronic monitoring device, adhering to a curfew imposed by the court, and the provision of a non-invasive DNA sample prescribed by the court. In other news, the grounds of the Millfleur Heritage House came alive over the weekend as the second edition of Hop, Hunt and Heritage kicked off. Hosted by the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, the event brought together participants of all ages to experience heritage in real time. Building on the growing success of family-focused cultural experiences at Millfleur, Chief Executive Officer of the Trust, Graham Sweet, explained that one of the main objectives of the event was to bring together tangible culture with intangible traditions.
Event today is providing children with an opportunity to learn about traditional games and festivities. So we have the maypole dancing, we're doing the Easter egg hunt, the traditional stuff. We have horseback riding, the Tin Pan Alley, as well as a very popular Easter bonnet parade.
Heritage are often told through edifices and historical sites. The National Trust sought to portray these stories through families, uniting both young and old for a fun-filled event.
We have a number of tours throughout Trinidad and Tobago every weekend. There's a very popular tour on the water taxi, doing a tour of the Western Isles, and a number of tours to every corner of Trinidad and Tobago.
The National Trust said it remains committed to serving this country's most valuable heritage and the people. Now on to some sport. The boys of under-17 final of the National Basketball Club Championship has been set and will see the Maloney Pacers face off against Spartans TT. After losing Game 2 against Bronx and being forced into Game 3 in semi-final 1, Christopher Jackson Charles, coach Pacers, went on to win the pivotal match 97-91, taking the series 2-1. Already holding a 1-0 lead in the second semi-final, Spartans TT, thanks to 32 points from Zachary Julian, guided them to a heavy 29-point victory with a final score of 115-86, winning the series 2-0. The Maloney Pacers will face Spartans TT in Game 1 on Saturday. And that's what's making the news at this time. But after we return, it's our number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Introducing the new Sun Mix Nut Bar. Available in 3 delicious flavors: granola raisin nut, almond cranberry crunch, and coconut almond crisp. All packed on a rich bed of dark chocolate.
Taste the good life, snack right. Taste the good life anytime. Good life. Sun Mix.
Sunshine Snacks Sun Mix Nut Bar. Taste the good life.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kick off at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026, powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
Keeping God. Come on, over the waters, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us as the Spirit was moving. Yeah, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. Calm down, all around me, everywhere I look, all around, come on, say, all around me, everywhere I look, your love is all around.
Communities across the country prepare to celebrate the Easter season. One village is getting ready for a long-standing tradition that brings together sport, family and community spirit. The Canby Mount Pleasant Sport and Family Day returns for its 51st edition this Easter Monday, promising a day of fun, friendly competition and togetherness. Well, joining me this morning, I have a member of Canby Mount Pleasant, Mr. Colin Mark, and also Education Officer Alicia Bowles. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is good to have you both here to talk about this really exciting event coming up. Now, 51 years is a remarkable achievement. So what would you say is the key to maintaining support for your community of Canby Mount Pleasant?
Well, I would say the key has always been community ownership. This event isn't just organized for the people, it's built by the people of Canby Mount Pleasant, and generations have grown up attending, volunteering, and eventually leading. So there's a deep sense of pride and tradition that keeps the support strong year after year.
And for those who've never attended, how would you both describe the atmosphere and the experience of this day?
I would say it's vibrant, family-friendly, celebration with something for everyone. All right, you will find laughter, friendly competitions, great food, and a real sense of togetherness. Right? It's a kind of event where you reconnect with old friends, meet new ones, and truly feel the spirit of Easter in the community.
And Colin, you were saying?
Yes. Well, having grown up in the community, I'll say in the early it started at a smaller scale, and as the year grew on, it has improved. Canby Mount Pleasant is a total package, which entails a 5K. We reduced from 10K to a 5K, which is quite competitive these days. We started that on 6 o'clock in the morning, which will be opening and which precedes a lot of track and novelty events, plus the bonnet parade and so on. It's for a day for the family.
Alicia, how has the event evolved over the past 5 decades? I believe it's been going on, right? 51 years. Alicia, can you hear me?
Right. Over the years, it's definitely grown, but we have kept the heart of it the same, the community, family, and tradition. We have just built on that foundation.
Yeah, and I know the community looks forward to this every single year. So what role does the wider community play in helping with this event and supporting the event as well?
Okay, well, the community plays a major role, from volunteers to sponsors, participants and supporters, schools, families, business. It really takes everyone working together to make this happen.
Yeah, and will there be any small vendors, any local businesses being a part of all of this?
Yes, definitely. We welcome local vendors. It's a great opportunity for them to showcase what they offer and connect with the community.
And, everyone's always concerned about their safety, especially with the long weekend coming up. What measures are in place? Can you tell us if there's anything in place to ensure that there's a smooth and enjoyable event?
We have put measures in place to ensure everything runs smoothly, working closely with the authorities and making sure the environment is safe and well organized for everyone. So we have the police there, we have fire. So it's a safe environment for everyone that attends.
Yeah, well, Colin, this event means so much for community bonding and everyone coming together, the young people as well. How's that experience, seeing everyone coming together and just really having a good time for this?
Well, it's a wonderful feeling. Myself belongs to the athletics fraternity, so I've been one who tells, you could say, a guy who grew up in the community, playing sports. Now we have to the other stage, which is like officiating, coaching, etc., etc. And it's nice to see the budding new stars, because you must believe in succession planning. And when every year you see a new kid coming in a respective age group, you say, who from here you may see the next Hazley Crawford or what, etc., etc.
Yeah. And Alicia, before we go, what's your invitation for the public? Why should we come out and be a part of this year's celebrations?
Well, they have to come out and be a part of something special, right? Whether they're coming for the sports, the entertainment, the food, or just the atmosphere, right? So there's something there for everyone. It's more than an event. It's a celebration of community, culture, and togetherness. So don't miss it.
Yeah. And Colin, what do you want to tell members of the public still making up their minds what they want to do this weekend? Why should they come to this event?
Well, if you're looking for a day of fun to reminisce and let's say reflect and say, yes, I had a splendid weekend, well, that's in addition to the 3 days harvest, which begins with Bethel Sunday, Monday Easter, Mount Pleasant, and Buccoo Tuesday. Apart from the sporting activities, well, there it is. Having fun, you come. Bunny up, you see the different games for kids, what have you, a little exercising sport. For that matter, you cater for all different age groups. So if you want to spend a splendid weekend where you could have fun to reminisce, Mount Pleasant is the place.
All right. Thank you very much, Colin and Alicia, for joining us. We wish you all the best on your 51st Sports Day. And we can't wait to see all your pictures.
And just before we go, I would just like to invite everyone today at the Esplanade. We have our Holy Thursday, our pre-show today actually. It starts at 11. We do a small parade around Scarborough with some of the goats and some of the bonnets, right? And so we invite everyone. Tickets are $60 for adults, $30 for children. The sports on Easter Monday starts at 11 o'clock. We have all the races. We have our 5K race as well, 6 a.m. in the morning, $150 for registration. Persons can come and register on the morning as well. So we have a full day of activities for everyone to come, bring out the family and come and enjoy.
All right. Thank you very much, Alicia. And thank you so much, Colin. And as I said, we look forward to seeing all the videos and pictures from the event coming up this weekend. All right. Thank you so much. That's Tobago Thursday. We continue with that inside the show today. Don't forget, we have our link up as well in just a few minutes. But for now, some information that came to us this morning and we want to share with you. We have that. Trinidad and Tobago is stepping up its push for a seat on the United Nations Security Council, with elections just months away in June 2026. Speaking in the Senate last evening, Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sober said the country's campaign is gaining momentum with support from CARICOM and over 100 UN member states, as government positions this as a key opportunity to amplify the voice of small island states on the global stage.
The country to understand, especially based upon the state, well, the admissions and the contributions made by Senator Brown concerning messages as it pertains to Iran or Cuba, and the positions of Trinidad and Tobago with respect to our relations with the United States. We make no apology as it pertains to our relationships with the United States. Adopting a position against narco-terrorism and narco-trafficking, condemning it at the strongest possible multilateral event such as United Nations Assembly, General Assembly. What could be wrong with a position like that? Are we to then be on the opposite side or the opposite side and say, yes, we have no problem with a plethora of drug boats coming into the country. We have no problem with a plethora of guns coming into the country. And so to say then that we support the US's military intervention to deal with those things that have been perpetrated for 10 years under previous administration, I could see absolutely nothing wrong with that as a position to be adopted by a responsible government. The honourable member spoke about small island states. We are quite aware as to what responsibility we have being a small island state, being an advocate for SIDS on the whole and in general. And we will continue to do that as a member of the Non-Permanent Security Council. And any talk that is being peddled about apartheid and genocide, it is the Honourable Kamala Persad-Bissessar in her first term as Prime Minister that was the person that brought to CARICOM discussions on reparations. And I would remind this House and this country about that.
However, beyond that exchange, the minister also used the opportunity to highlight Trinidad and Tobago's campaign for a seat on the United Nations Security Council, including its priority areas and the level of support already secured.
In the process of campaigning for its candidature as a non-permanent member of the UNSC for the term, as aforesaid, the areas of national priorities which will impact the role played by Trinidad and Tobago are consistent with its stated objective of respect for regional and international rule of law, security, protection of vulnerable communities, and addressing emerging threats of illicit trafficking of small arms, light weapons, and artificial intelligence. I wish to advise the Senate that as a result of Trinidad and Tobago placing emphasis on these priority areas, this country's bid for a non-permanent seat on the UNSC for the period aforesaid is currently uncontested within the GRULAC region, which is the group of Latin America and the Caribbean states. Don't look so surprised. If you have information to the contrary, you could always say.
While the United Nations Security Council is one of the world's most powerful bodies responsible for maintaining international peace and security, with 15 members, including 10 elected and 2-year terms. That's 4 2-year terms. Well, Trinidad and Tobago is now campaigning for one of those seats for 2027 to 2028, a bid that, if successful, would return the country to the Council for the first time since 1985 and give it a voice in key global decisions. Well, the time now just about 7:21 a.m. We have to take a short break, and when we come back, the show continues today on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
TTT Weather with Zaina James, daily at 7 p.m.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives, one property at a time.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kick off at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026, powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Tobago is set to come alive with food, fun, and fierce competition as the Scarborough Fisherman Festival casts off for its 4th edition. Set against the scenic Milford Road Esplanade, the event blends the island's rich fishing traditions with high-energy activities from competitive catches and swimming races to family fun and live entertainment. While this is all hosted by the Capital Chambers, the festival is all about celebrating culture, supporting small businesses, and of course bringing new life to Scarborough. We're joined this morning by event coordinator Eliyahu Ben Israel to tell us more. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
It's good to have you here with us on this blessed morning. So tell us, how did the Scarborough Fisherman Festival come about?
Oh, it came about by the carnival in Scarborough kind of feeding away and activities going, all over the island, basically. It's not a bad thing, but Scarborough was really the capital of events, capital of entertainment. And we saw where, the capital is getting... is dwindling from the capital was dwindling with activities for the community to participate in. So me and some small business people, we came together and we spoke about, the condition of Scarborough and the ongoing events that live in Scarborough. And we came up with this idea of having a sea festival, a fisherman festival, kind of emulating what's going on in Tobago already, and all the other villages that are sea-bound, with a sea boundary has a festival similar, so we decided to come together, create this festival so that business people in Scarborough could have a day for themselves. Because when Carnival does not score in Scarborough, any activity does not score in Scarborough, it can have a deep impact on the business community. So we did this for the business community and for the people who actually live in and around Scarborough.
Well, tell us about tomorrow. What can people expect when they come out?
Tomorrow, people could expect a lot. They're going to start off with a fishing tournament, and I'm urging all fishermen to get down to the where the I Love Tobago sign used to be. That's where we're going to have our weighing station, our registration booth set up. So they're going to start off with a fishing tournament from 7 o'clock. Follow right after, we're going to have our Johnny Pro Cup Swimming Classic, which will start at 8 o'clock. And that swimming will go on between the hours of 8 and 12 o'clock. Okay, we will have a long distance race, which is a Johnny Pro Cup long distance 1,500 meters race. And we'll have a Dante Williams sprint, which is 500 meters. When that is over, we're going to be moving on to our draft competition at 11 o'clock at the Rotunda. Then the registration for the fishing is $100 for shoreline fishing and $200 for the ocean fishing. For the swimming, it will be $50 for the sprint and $100 for the long distance race. The draft will be $50 registration. As we move on, we will have some jet ski entertainment around 1 o'clock. And at 2 o'clock, we're going to start off with our cycling races. We're going to have Mr. Pilgrim and the NSD Cycling Club from Tobago doing some circuit races with youths and adults. And when the cycling race is completed, we'll have our annual 4K, our annual 5K race, which goes around that same carnival route that encircles Scarborough and encircles the event area. And when that is over with, we'll have on the Esplanade itself, because the bars are actually partially sponsoring the events. So we're going to have the bars hosting events like arm wrestling, which will be taking place by City Liners Bar. We'll have tug of war, which will be taking place by Nigion's Bar. And we'll have beer drinking competition, which will be taking place by Leander's Bar. When that is over, we have our entertainment pack for the rest of the evening, which is DJs, Selector Bruce, Angel Journey, Big Youth, 3D, and we'll close the night with 2 performances, one local, Mr. Kevin Carter, and Mr. John Melody, who was part of our cast last year with our Good Vibes Reggae Stage Show. And this is all in conjunction with the Tobago Island Vibes Festival, also in collaboration with Capital Chamber. So Nijian Bars is pushing the Tobago Island Vibes Festival, and Capital Chamber is in conjunction with them with the Scarborough Fisherman Festival. So it will really be a 4-day pack of entertainment from Thursday, which is tonight.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Eliyahu Ben Israel, for joining us, and we wish you all the best in the Fisherman Festival.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, have a great day. Well, the time now, just about 7:30 a.m. We take a break, and when we come back, we link up.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I'll go right to on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT Weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time. Once again, it's time to connect beyond the screen as we head into the link up. Now, we've been checking in with our sister stations all week long, and today we've got one more to go.
Today, good morning, Sweet.
This is the link up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
That's right, we're joining our colleagues over at Sweet 100.1 FM, established in 1972 and recognized as the country's first FM radio station. Long-standing presence in the industry.
With Virmala, right here on Sweet 100, and I'm not sure if she's getting us. Good morning, Virmala. Hope you're hearing us. And of course, we were talking about some hot cross buns because today, you know, it's all about Holy Thursday. We're getting ready to. We're actually into the Easter weekend. So, great day today, Thursday. Reggae Love on Sweet 100.1 FM. Mark was complaining about the dry hot cross bun that he had.
I had a hot cross bun recently, and it really wasn't the very best. But I'm hoping that if I'm getting any hot cross buns for this Easter here, it will be of good quality and good caliber. So,
well, I do hope that the guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
We're hearing you now.
We're hearing you now. Good morning, Virmala. How are you doing?
Good morning to you.
And you didn't respond to me. I'm a little upset about that.
No. We do apologize, but it has been taken care of. We have two Nicholases in studio. So we have Nicholas Hoyt. And we have Nicholas. Yeah, so everything is in good hands right now. How are you, Virmala? We've been checking you out, and your show is fantastic.
Yeah, your show is fantastic as well. So I love the fact that we get to coincide this morning. I understand that you have so much happening and also a brand new image. Your studio looks fabulous.
It looks incredible, and we have to thank the persons. If you want to take a quick look around, this is the left side of the studio. We have the back side of the studio, and look at the wonderful door. Look at the door. Look at the door. We're looking good.
Wow.
We're in a gear.
Very fancy.
We're looking good.
Yeah, I might have to come and camp out in there sometime.
You're always welcome,
Yeah, that was my home. That's where I was kind of born.
We have a navel string buried in the corner.
Absolutely. I actually started right there. I was sitting on the opposite side observing. But guys, I know that you have lots happening. I know tomorrow or tonight, actually, it's a very special event. Tell me about that.
Oh, we're at the Rockback on the Bay. You see, when you're not accustomed to the cameras, Rockback on the Bay. We're going to be down there tonight in Scarborough, and it's called Reggae Love Live, and we're inviting persons to come on down. Admission is absolutely free. That's how much you pay. Free. Zero. Nothing at all. If even you have no money, you could still come in free because it's absolutely free. We had the last installment of it at a place called The Lobby in San Fernando, my hometown. And of course, my good friend, he is not from South, but I invited him and we had a good time. Large crowd and large turnout at the lobby. And this is the second installment. It's also the final installment of it. So we're looking forward for persons to come out in large numbers. And Nicholas, you should have seen Nicholas at the lobby. I mean, the man was, he was on fire, Virmala. He was on fire.
We had an amazing time, doing our Reggae Love, which we do on a Thursday here on air, right here on Sweet 100. So we took it live and we took it to San Fernando, and it was amazing. So now we are doing it in Scarborough later on today from 6 p.m. so you could come on out and have a wonderful time with us. And we're also getting ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, Mark has been complaining. He didn't get picked to play football.
I'm all right now. I'm okay now.
For the Media Cup. But tomorrow we're heading to the police barracks, and we're going to have such a wonderful time with this Intermedia Cup, and a fun-filled day, an entire day of just fun. And it's a day I think everybody's going to take off of work, media practitioners that is, and we're going to play some football and enjoy ourselves tomorrow. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, I definitely can't wait to...
Yeah, a former national footballer.
Oh gosh,
a former national footballer. Scored many goals, and Carlos made sure I didn't make that team.
Yeah,
Carlos, I'm calling his name.
Carlos is giving me some feedback right now. He's saying, he's looking forward to seeing you perform tomorrow, and he thinks he says, well, that's in the presenter's boot, but listen to me, Mark. I'll be there supporting you. I'll be cheering you on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and I got a call from Dwight last night also. Dwight called me from Dubai, and he said that he said don't worry about it. He said everything is going to be all right.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good time. But before we go, Virmala,
Virmala, I'm so sorry you have to deal with this.
We just want to take an opportunity to thank our friends at Lotus because they sent us a little gift here with the compliments of Lotus.
I'm not sure.
And the surprise is opening the box. You know,
Yeah.
so pull tab out.
I think I'm gonna open mine.
You know, you're gonna bust yours open.
Yeah.
You just wanna.
I think I'm gonna. I'm not sure I'm doing it right.
You know,
I'm probably
it's a
opening it
fancy
back to
box,
front. It's a real fancy schmancy box.
Look at mine.
Oh.
Look at this.
So it's a waffle mix. It's a waffle.
Wow. So does that mean breakfast is at sweet?
Wow.
Look me.
Wow.
Mark opened his
Look
own
at
really
me
well.
for the chefs. For the chefs. Look at it. Look at this, fellas. Look at this. Look at it.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
You know you have to
Enjoy
go.
your breakfast.
Thank you very much. Look at this. Thank you, Lotus.
Yep. Well, thank you
looking-
for showing us your breakfast this morning, and we'll pass across at Sweet
You want to dance
100.1
with
FM for some breakfast. Thank you. That was a link up with Sweet 100.1 FM. And as they mentioned, we're getting ready for tomorrow, the Intermedia Football Cup that's taking place. You can find all the information you need on our social media channels. Of course, everything will be there for you as well at TTT Live Online. We take a break and we come back with more on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Night and day. Today, good morning, Sway.
This is the Link Up with Sweet 100.1 FM.
Oh, Yahweh, the covenant keeping God. Come on, over the waters, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us as the Spirit was moving. Yeah. Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. So calm down. All around me. Everywhere I look. All around. Come on, say. All around me. All around me. Everywhere I look, your love is all around.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z, or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugs Bot Ignition, or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
It's that time of the year again, my friends. You feel it in the air. Football, football, football. It's back. Everyone's locked in. This is Richard Torpedo Thompson, and my Trinidad and Tobago people. I'll stay this straight. Fans make the game. Cheers, chants, passion. That's the heartbeat of football. There's only one 12th man that really brings the energy. That's Andre Errol Batiste on TTT. Every Thursday on TTT. Don't miss it.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
It's one of Tobago's most unique and beloved tradition, where goats sprint, crabs crawl, and the entire village comes alive in celebration. The Buccoo Goat and Crab Race Festival is back for its 98th edition next Tuesday, promising a vibrant mix of culture, community, and pure excitement. Well, the chairman of the Buccoo Village Council, Winston Pereira, joins me this morning to tell us what patrons can expect from this year's festivities. Good morning, Mr. Pereira.
Good morning, Virmala. Good morning, the wider cross-section of Trinidad and Tobago, who's locked on right now, and regionally and internationally.
So, Mr. Pereira, let's start. Yes, and it's such a beautiful background there as well. Well, let's start with the big
actually,
picture.
This is live, huh? This is live. This is Buccoo. This is right actually in front of my property.
I love that. So, Mr. Pereira, 98 years is an incredible milestone. What does this event mean for the people of Buccoo?
Well, it's extremely important because it's part of the cultural tapestry and heritage of not only Buccoo but Tobago as a whole, right? And just to correct you, chronologically would have been 101 years, right? But sequentially it's 98, and that's primarily because of the pandemic. So the pandemic kind of took away like at least 3 years out of that chronological calendar, so to speak. Yeah. But other than that, our village is well known, not only for the goat races, but also the other things that come or are integrated into that actual event. Yeah. So you're looking at also like the official departure point to the reef. Yeah. And then there's the Sunday school part of it as well. So all those are parts and parcels of what Buccoo is intrinsically. Yeah. But the goat races specifically, people look forward to that every year, right? Not only from the village, but Tobago as a whole, because it's hosted on Tuesday. And that's not a public holiday, but it's a public holiday in Tobago. So everybody kind of converges at Buccoo Point, yeah, and they go to enjoy. It's a family day, and then it goes into later on in the night where it becomes more of an adult-oriented kind of event, right, with the entertainers and such.
Yeah. So for those who've never experienced it, like myself, how would you describe the Goat and Crab Race Festival? Give us an idea of it.
Well, it's very interactive. Yeah, we encourage crowd participation. I mean, for those persons who have never seen it, it's something to behold. Yeah, it's kind of wondrous, right, to see individuals running with goats, right, with like 9 feet of rope, and it's very competitive. So there's bragging rights, and of course the winners come out financially more wealthy, so to speak. So, they're running for prizes, money, you understand? So the competition is high, yeah?
What can we expect? Yeah.
Go ahead.
What can we expect from this year's edition? Anything new, any additions, any surprises for patrons?
Well, the format usually follows one specific direction, which is like, it starts at around 10 a.m., right? And there's a street procession, right? That starts at the Buccoo Forrows and comes and goes straight down into the village and then onto the facility, yeah. And then after that, you would have the normal welcoming remarks, the speeches given by the individuals who are in attendance, yeah, the politicians as well as the members of the council, yeah. And then we go into the races, and during the period of time as the races are ongoing, it's interspersed with cultural events, right? So cultural items, so to speak. So you have different groups from all over Tobago, right? Giving a presentation of sorts, more of the culture of Tobago. And then from, let's say from 6 onwards, when it gets later, the prices go up because that's in expectation of the performance component of the event, right, of the production, which this year we have, it's a very high-powered cadre of entertainers. So we have 4 entertainers, 4 well-known entertainers, one Tobagonian, the Bruce. Yeah, he's a very popular artist. We have Full Blown, we have Freetown Collective, yeah, and we have Crystal. I think I pronounced his name right, Crystal?
Yes, it's Crystal. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun, Mr. Pereira. Before we go, what's your message to both the locals and visitors coming for this race? Why should we come to check out this race and to be a part of it?
Well, as I said, it's one of a kind. Something that It's extremely memorable. Yeah. And it's an experience for anybody who is on the island at that time, right? Because the high point in the carnival event, specifically during the Easter period, right? So it's something to actually witness and experience as well as to enjoy, because we encourage crowd participation. So it's very interactive, you know? So I believe it's something that families and individuals alike will enjoy considerably, especially when they're on for this period of time during the Easter period. So they are looking forward to persons coming out and patronizing. Just so everyone knows, the cost at the gate to enter, right, will be adults at 80, the children, we consider children from 5 to 10, children under 5, there'll be no charge, right? 5 to 10 will be 14, and from 11 upwards, as an adult, will be 80. And this will put us until the evening at 6 p.m. when the prices go up. The adults will be at 100, and children will be at 50. Right? So that will be from 6 p.m. onwards. So during the day, we expect all the families to come out, enjoy themselves, to take part, because it's kind of threefold things that will be presented: the cuisine of Tobago, the athletic part, the sports, right, and then there'll be the culture. So there's something for everyone. Yeah, going forward.
Mr. Brewer, before we go, I want to ask you, how do you prepare the goats and the crabs for this festival?
You should ask me that first.
It's on my mind, and I really need to ask you.
The crabs, that's a novelty event, basically, right? So crabs run laterally; they don't run forward. So something for the crowd or the patrons to participate in and be part of, right? Take pictures and stuff like that. The goats, though, they're especially bred for running, for this particular event. So they're specific breeds and stuff like that, So to get into detail, it'd be kind of difficult at this point in time, but just rest assured that it will be something to witness, Yeah. And it's something that we intend to continue moving forward with as we progress. We of course improve and develop the sport even more, right? So.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Pereira, joining us this morning. That's the 98th. Well, you said 101st. It could be as well.
Well, I said 101 chronologically, sequentially to 98. And I'll give you the reasons why. So go ahead.
Yeah. So, well, we look forward to seeing all the content coming out of Tobago for this. And we wish you all the best.
Of course. And time, you have to be here sometime,
yes,
Virmala.
I definitely will take you.
You're not saying, I'll see you, Mr. Pereira, on Tuesday.
I'll definitely take you up on that. I promise. Thank you very, very much.
Well, let's hope that Caribbean Airlines doesn't go through and remove their subsidy. It's very important to Tobago's.
I'm sure we'll make it if we get there. Maybe my team and I will probably be there as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Winston Pereira, the Buccoo Village Council Vice President, talking about the Buccoo Goat and Crab race. Well, the time now, it is 7:51. Time's really flying this morning ahead of a long weekend. When we come back, we get ready to wrap things up for today.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
The microphones are down and the boots are laced up. This Good Friday, the top media houses of Trinidad and Tobago are stepping off the air and onto the field. Get ready for the Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Come out and rep your favorite media personalities as they clash for football glory and bragging rights. The best part? It's free. So bring the family, bring your coolers, and don't forget your vibe. Friday, April 3rd, Police Barracks, St. James. It's football, energy, and excitement. Kickoff at 11 a.m. The Intermedia Football Cup 2026. Powered by TTT Limited. For more information, like, love, follow us on social media at TTT Live Online. No glass bottles allowed. Intermedia Football Cup 2026.
The TTT Intermedia Football Cup 2026, sponsored by Digicel, Sunshine Snacks, Blue Waters, and Stamina Energy.
We hope that you're wearing your blue today, and if you are, please send us your pictures at ttt@ttt.co.tt. And in case you did not know, wearing blue today helps to support the Light It Up Blue campaign for World Autism Awareness Day, and it helps to promote awareness and acceptance and understanding of autism as well. Well, as we wrap up this morning, I want to take a moment to thank my entire team for an amazing job as always. I couldn't do this without you. Another amazing week. And to you, our viewers, we wish you and your loved ones a safe and peaceful and blessed Easter weekend. Enjoy the time. Please take care of each other and make it a good one. And if you're on the roads this weekend, please designate a driver, no drinking and driving. Now, we get to leave you with a beautiful performance from Dastra taken from her Reflections concert by our TTT cameraman Roland Rock. Enjoy and have a wonderful long weekend. Bye-bye.
Alone in a room, it's just me and you. I feel so lost, 'cause I don't know what to do. Now what if I choose the wrong thing to do? I'm so afraid of disappointing you. So I need to talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today when my mind seems so cloudy. Guide me until I'm sure I open my heart. Oh yeah. My hopes and dreams are fading fast. I'm all burned out. I don't think my strength's gonna last. So I'm crying out to you. Oh Lord, you know you're the only one who is able to pull me through. So I know I need to talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today when my mind seems just a little bit cloudy. Lord, you guide me through. That's why I open up my heart. So show me how to do things your way. Don't let me make the same mistakes over and over again. Your will be done. why I open up my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart. Oh, all I need to do is just hear a single word from you. Ooh, I open up my heart to you. You're the lover of my soul, the captain of my sea. I need a word from you. That's why I open up my heart. I just need one single word from you. That's why I open up my
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. As the more than 300,000 Roman Catholics and many of the Christian faith in Trinidad and Tobago prepare for the celebration of Easter, Catholic priest Father Michael Trestrail explains what is reenacted during Holy Week.
Excited that he came, but now it changes to the journey of betrayal, the journey of handing him over, Judas choosing that, maybe this is not working out the way I hoped, and so let me see if I could still get something out of it. And in that journey into Holy Thursday, he gives us the Eucharist, he gives us the priesthood, he gives us the service, as the cornerstone of Christianity, that our lives are marked by service, and he tells us that on Holy Thursday.
Father Trestrail shares the biblical account of how Jesus Christ was handed over to Pilate and condemned to death by the Jews and Pilate after being betrayed by one of his disciples.
And this is where I said that he really shows us that solidarity that, I've been there, I've been through the door of death, and I've come out on the other side, and I'm with you in all of this. So Good Friday is the day when he pours out love upon death, love upon suffering, and then, he rests in the tomb as well for that glorious Saturday. And then Easter Sunday is where we believe that new life came through the resurrection, and that, God wants to do that in our own lives too. And that's why we celebrate Easter.
Child abuse remains a pressing issue in Trinidad and Tobago, taking many forms, including physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, as well as neglect. That reminder came on Wednesday from Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit, as she delivered the feature address at the Child Abuse Prevention Art Competition prize giving and exhibition at Mil Fleur, Port of Spain. Held under the theme, My Rights, My Voice, My Future, the competition used the visual arts to raise awareness of child protection and children's rights. 13 entries were received, with the top 3 awarded and selected pieces showcased at the exhibition. Minister Mohit stressed the importance of listening to children and valuing their perspectives, noting that child protection is urgent and requires action. The initiative highlights the ministry's commitment to safeguarding children and empowering them to be heard. In other news, serious crime figures have shown a notable decline between January and February 2026. According to Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander, 725 cases of serious criminal offenses were reported in January. By February, that number had dropped to 479. Responding to questions during the Senate on Wednesday, he noted that these figures are based on information provided by the Commissioner of Police.
The provisional total number of serious criminal offenses detected across all police divisions for January 2026 is 212, and for February 2026, 85. Mr. President, I wish to note that these figures are provisional as the 2nd of March 2026 and remains the subject of verification and finalization by the Crime and Problem Analysis Branch of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, which is responsible for the compilation and validation of national crime statistics.
Minister Alexander also clarified why the TTPS website has been down during the month of February, extending into early March.
The Commissioner of Police has advised that the interruption arose in circumstances where there was outstanding payments to the external service provider responsible for hosting and maintaining of the website, including an invoice relating to service rendered in 2025 and a subsequent invoice for 2026. Mr. President, I am advised that the matter has since been addressed and the website has now been restored to service.
In sport, Cricket West Indies has appointed former West Indies fast bowler and head coach Otis Gibson as the team's new fast bowling consultant on an initial one-year assignment. Gibson steps into the role at a critical time as the regional outfit ramps up preparations for a packed international schedule, beginning with a home series against Sri Lanka in June. Director of Cricket Miles Bascom says fast bowling remains one of the Windies' great competitive advantages and that Gibson's experience will be key in keeping that unit performing at the highest level. Gibson says he's eager to work with the region's bowlers, helping them develop across all formats of the game. The appointment also ties directly into CWI's big ambitions, including automatic qualification for the 2027 ICC Men's 50 Over World Cup and early groundwork for the 2028 ICC T20 World Cup. And that was your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From the entire team here, have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local. Carrie's Kitchen, powered by Food Hall. Grocery made greater. Ibis, a tradition of excellence. Caribbean flavors. In the heart of every kitchen. Lotus, the confidence to create. Correga Garden Supplies. Good and Natural. Indie, spice up your life. Distributed by Edward B.B. Harry. Champion, always a winner. Distributed by Edward B.B. Harry. Lion, the power behind our great taste traditions. Excellence Stores Limited. Live, create, do.
You know how they say, waste not, want not. And I know people are accustomed to their chicken leg, chicken breast, but the gizzards and the liver part of the chicken you could use too. So we don't waste nothing here. And I can show you some interesting ways in which you could use these parts other people tend to throw away. Morning. 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 So yeah, I just wanted to get some chicken gizzards today because I have some interesting recipes that I want to use it for. And I hear you use the man. Okay, nice. Yeah? So let me get one of these packages from you. Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, appreciate it. Blessings on. Wagyu beef sausages. Serious. Yeah, boy. Cucumbers already. I can take a try too. Yeah. How much you selling them?
$8 for one?
Yeah, I'll take two, please. Thank you. Now that I have everything I need, it's time to head to the kitchen to start cooking. So we're here back in the kitchen after getting all our fresh ingredients from the Namdevco Farmers Market. And today what we're making is a chicken gizzard hash. And don't worry, hash is just a fancy name for breakfast potatoes. So of course we have our chicken gizzard, which we're gonna dice in a while, potatoes, and then we have a lot of flavoring ingredients